Together on this very channel, you and I have covered hundreds of indie eShop games worth buying. When we ran out of those games, we even looked into amazing indie games we've been playing for years that need to come to the Switch, but as far as we know, they probably won't. So what's left? Indie games on the Switch, indie games not on the Switch yet? I mean, we're out, right? Unless we take a look at indie games that haven't even been made yet. But Woodison, I hear you asking, how can we look at games that don't even exist? That's ludicrous. Well, Kickstarter. The games on this list are either already funded or really close to being funded and could still use our help, but either way, they are all set to release on Nintendo Switch. I'm hijacking my own video for a second because Tugmas and I have something that we want to let you know. No, well, I guess not. I have just dropped some hot, fresh, spicy new merch. I don't think anyone says that. 3 new shirt designs. This is something I never do, by the way, so get them now while they're already 20% off of Black Friday. These new designs are being sold on Pixel Empire, and I've actually bought from them before. They do more than just shirts. In my office right here, I have some of their really cool travel posters, and then above my TV where I play games, I have some canvas art of games like Red Dead Redemption and Mass Effect. And enter the Nintendo Switch giveaway. For you guys, Pixel Empire are giving away the Smash Brothers limited edition Nintendo Switch. So while you're down in that description finding that Switch giveaway, and I know you're going down there for that, make sure to click on the link to go check out my shirts. It really does help out the show, and hey, you'll look awesome at the same time. I appreciate it, guys. On with the video. The very first game on the list is not only one of my favorites, but it's the reason we have this entire list. The developers behind Hazelnut Bastille actually shot me a message and said, do you want to check out our Kickstarter campaign? And check it out, I did. And the game looked so good, I wanted to make some kind of video. So I dived into Kickstarter to see what other amazing looking games might come to eShop. And now that's why you're here, listening to my voice, staring into my eyes, and looking at the incredibly beautiful game, Hazelnut Bastille. Oh, and if you know me, as soon as you saw this game, y'all know why I love it so much. Hazelnut Bastille is a top-down Zelda-inspired action RPG set in a beautifully created 16-bit world. And with it being heavily inspired by top-down Legend of Zelda titles, you can of course look forward to an open world to explore, clever puzzles to solve, and the iconic sword-slashing combat that will get your nostalgic juices flowing. I gotta stop using that word in my reviews. The developer is hoping to bring Hazelnut Bastille to Windows, Mac, Linux, PS4, and most importantly for this video topic, Nintendo Switch. The game has already surpassed its $65,000 funding goal and is currently closing in on $80,000. Also surpassing its second stretch goal to add more additional content to the game. And honestly, that is why we are here today talking about this game and games like it, because it's already funded, and while it could use some more help, we can clearly see the game is great. It even has a demo that you can go and play. I didn't want to pick a bunch of Kickstarters that look shady or ones that weren't anywhere near close to being funded just in case they didn't happen and you threw your money on it and nothing eventuated out of it. We've seen cases like this happen before where people get burnt on Kickstarter and games are promised and not delivered. So I have intentionally picked 5 that are either funded or really close to being funded for this reason. There is a stigma around Kickstarter, but when you see something like this, your mind immediately tells you, oh, this is happening, let me jump on board with it. At least that's what my mind tells me. I don't know about you guys. And this is where you guys and I come in, because the Nintendo Switch stretch goal still has a bit to go. It's set at $110,000. The studio also said it will potentially bring the game to other consoles as well if support and interest stay strong. So again, this game is happening, so it's reason to get hyped. And as I said, there is currently a playable demo of the game available to download on PC. It features around 2 to 3 hours of content showing off an overworld, dungeon gameplay, puzzles, and boss fights. Oddly enough, this content specifically isn't actually any of the game, but instead gives players an idea of what to expect from the final product. So if you like the look of Hazelnut Bastille, I will leave links down below to that game and every game on the list today for you to check out for yourselves and possibly contribute if it looks like something you might want to get on the Switch or just something you might want to help out with. And just to clarify, I'm not being sponsored for any of these games, just in case any of you might have thought that. This small indie company just asked me to check out their game, and I thought this could actually do more than just checking it out, because the game looks amazing and I want to play it on my Switch. Moving on, we have Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is an upcoming Metroidvania RPG that features monster taming and party-based combat. But what does all of that mean? Well, monsters provide different abilities during gameplay like flying or breaking down walls. Then there's the turn-based combat that focuses on implementing combos with your team. It plays and looks similar to classic Pokemon games, but it's all done from a side-scrolling perspective. The game is looking to implement a ton of different styles of games into one cohesive experience, creating something truly unique of its own. And just like the last game, you can try a demo of this one right now on PC. But this isn't the first demo. In fact, the developer released a demo way back when that gained a lot of popularity, and the studio gathered feedback from that demo and is working on improving it and even adding some new features. Which is how you know a game is on track, when they actually take their feedback and then use it, implement it, and make their game better. As a special release for the Kickstarter campaign, you can currently grab the second demo version of the game. It contains over 2 hours of content and over 15 monsters are included. And oh boy, do I have great news on this one. Monster Hunter Sanctuary's Kickstarter, that's kinda hard to say, already surpassed their goal to get it to the Nintendo Switch. So whether you want to help out or not, you can still look forward to buying and playing it on your Switch if you like the look of the game. And I'm looking forward to it. It seems like a weird mix of Metroid and Pokemon, which is something I would have never imagined happening. And on top of all of that, it has a pretty freaking gorgeous art style, so I mean, I'm just all in at this point. Once again, links to the Kickstarter down below if you want to check it out for yourself. You know what, RGT85 and Spawnwave are both better channels than yours. Blasphemous! That's the name of the next game, and that was actually blasphemy. The next game is from the creators of the handcrafted adventure game, The Last Door. Oh, what's that you say? You've never heard of The Last Door? Well, have you not been paying attention to your point and clicks, good sir? The Last Door is an extremely well-received point and click adventure game that garnered a whopping 10 out of 10 on Steam from its users. Needless to say, many gamers are looking forward to the studio's next title, Blasphemous. This game is a fast-paced action platformer that combines hack-and-slash gameplay with an engrossing story. And the world was constructed pixel by pixel, and it's pure eye candy. But what's so amazing about this game, you may ask? Well, it's non-linear, so you're able to explore at your own leisure, and you'll take down enemies of all types and sizes throughout this dark fantasy adventure. The studio has said that their biggest focus is achieving very satisfying combat mechanics with smooth animations and intuitive controls. And once again, this game has blown past almost all of its stretch goals. It's currently sat at about 334,000, and its last stretch goal is 350,000. So unless by the time you're watching this it's already blown past that goal, make sure to go over, check it out, and see if it's something you might want to help out on. Currently, the game is estimated to launch in March of 2019 on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. But don't worry about the last two, that's why we're here. I mean, unless you don't have a Switch, in which case, if you're watching my videos and you don't have a Switch, you're obviously just here for me, and you're amazing, thank you. Bushiden is hopefully how you pronounce the next game. A futuristic ninja action platformer is what's quoted on their Kickstarter, so count me in. Yet another Metroidvania game on the list. There are so many, I've said it before, but these indie devs, they love their Metroidvanias, and I ain't complaining. I'll take as many as you've got to throw at me. Bushiden aims to make you feel empowered, dropping you in the middle of crowds of enemies that you'll swiftly defeat. This gorgeous pixel art action game will undoubtedly feel right at home on the Nintendo Switch. The combat system is based around a traditional 3-hit combo, perform throws, finishes, and chi spell attacks to destroy all the enemies in your path. It combines melee combat with exploration spanning across 8 separate non-linear levels. And like all Metroidvanias, you'll revisit levels with new abilities to gain access to different areas, find secret items, and become a more powerful ninja. It's not offensive, is it? I hope not. Bushiden will initially release on Nintendo Switch, Steam, and PlayStation 4. It will likely release on other platforms if support for the game continues. But don't get too excited too soon, because while the developer Pixel Art Studios has surpassed the goal of 70,000, it's still not set to release until August 2020. It's kind of a wait, but it looks like it's going to be worth it. So while you're waiting, and you have time, so don't rush, but check that link down below to find out more on the game. I'm almost positive that if you're here because you have an interest in Kickstarted games, or you just like the games on this list in general, then there's probably a 90% chance you've already heard of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Doesn't matter if you have, that's the next one. So if you haven't heard of it, buckle yourself in for a wild ride of waiting a while to play a great looking game. This is the latest exciting project from the Castlevania veteran Koji, can't pronounce the last game because I suck, the director of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And Symphony of the Night is probably my favorite Castlevania, so color me excited. And as no surprise, it's an ambitious Metroidvania game. Said that word a few times this video. It's okay though. An ambitious Metroidvania game that acts as a spiritual successor to the Castlevania games that he previously worked on. Explore and collect new weapons, get in heated fights, and take down some seriously tough bosses. You play as Miriam, and that is my grandmother's name, and she is a badass, so I'll accept this. She's an orphan scarred by a curse that is slowly eating at her skin. It makes me feel gross. In order to save yourself, and of course all of humanity, you must fight your way through a castle filled with demonic creatures. It's an average Saturday night for some of us. Ritual of the Night is exploration focused with side-scrolling platforming and RPG elements. Bloodstained is set to launch sometime next year with currently no date confirmed, sadly. So was this game fully funded? Well, they were asking for a whopping 500,000, $500,000. How do you think just because you made one of the best Castlevania games that you have the nerve to ask for $500,000? Well, of course, he got 5.5 million, which for a while was the highest funded Kickstarter out there until it was surpassed by Shenmue 3, which, by the way, still waiting for my HD collection on my Switch, as well as Shenmue 3 confirmed for Switch. Probably ain't gonna happen, but hey, a man can dream. So yes, was it funded completely and totally by like 500% or something? I'm not good at math. So definitely a game that's coming to Switch, definitely a game that's worth looking forward to, and I'm definitely buying it day one. Definitely. And so you should definitely check out that Kickstarter campaign down below, as well as all the other campaigns I've talked about today. Loads of games already on the Switch, a bunch of games that should come to the Switch, and now games that aren't even made yet that need to come to the Switch. What's next? Concepts for games that aren't even thought of yet that should be on the Switch? Or me saying Switch one more time in the outro of this video. Let me know down below if you liked this video or you learned a little something. Make sure you subscribe because I'd really appreciate it. Click or tap on this video right here because it was probably also about the Switch.